Pat's going to have a chat today, and actually is with herself, so that's always kind of nice, right?
Okay, today as we move into the fourth week of Advent, and it's Christmas week also, I wanted to share with you a meditation from a book, Co-Workers of the Truth, Meditations for Every Day of the Year. And it's writings from Pope Benedict the 16th. And I read this and I thought, wow, this is a lot for me to kind of consider during this last week of Advent. So I'm going to share parts of it and then maybe give you some comments in between, okay? Nowadays, a theologian or preacher is all but expected to heap more or less sarcastic criticism on our popular way of celebrating Christmas, and thus to contrast impressively the touching sentimentality of our celebration with the stark reality of the first Christmas. Christmas, we are told, has been commercialized irredeemably and has degenerated into a senseless marketing frenzy. Its religiosity has become tacky. Of course, such criticism is largely justified, even though it might too readily forget that behind the facade of busyness and sentimentality, the yearning for something purer and greater is not entirely extinguished. Indeed, that the sentimental framework often provides the protecting shield behind which hides a noble and genuine sentiment that is simply reluctant to expose itself to the gaze of the other. Let's stop there for a minute. That's kind of got a little heavy there toward the end. But I think he's right. All of this stuff that we do for Christmas, why? This preparation time, this kind of busyness that we have, this sentimentality, it really is about a yearning for something pure, something greater. And in the midst of all this, it's not extinguished. I really think that we all yearn for the light that is coming in the darkness. So this sentimental framework, in a sense, is telling us that we are made for something more, that we are about something more. And I think in this time period, right, part of, Socrates says, an unreflected life is not worth living, or an unexamined life is not worth living. And that is so true. I think we just go through life doing without thinking about, why am I doing this? What should I be doing? Is this what I should be doing? Right? And even in the busyness of Christmas, getting ready for this big day, this preparation time, these are questions we should be asking ourselves. Is this really something I should be buying for my child, for my friend? Is this really the best way to show how much I love them? All of these things, we should be reflecting on it because we are yearning for something deeper. Pope Benedict goes on to say, the hectic commercialization is repugnant to us, and rightly so, for it is indeed utterly out of place as a commemoration of the hushed mystery of Bethlehem, of the mystery of the God who for us made himself a beggar. So, when you walk into a store in October, and you're already seeing Christmas stuff out. I don't know about you, but I'm going, geez. right? And sometimes there's just so much Christmas, right? I mean, or a long list of toys that children want, right? The idea is so often, and I hear parents, and that's a strong word to say repugnant, but I hear parents say, really? That's the list you want to give Santa? Let's look at this, right? Do you really need all of that? And to spend time. Why do we do that? Because we know that we're out of step. We're out of step with this mystery of Bethlehem. But the Pope goes on to say, and yet underneath it all, does it not originate in the notion of giving and thus in the inner urgency of love with its compulsion to share, to give of oneself to the other? And does not the notion of giving transport us directly into the core of the mystery that is Christmas? In the offertory prayer of the former Christmas Vigil liturgy, we ask God for the grace to receive with joy his everlasting gifts that come to us in the celebration of Christ's birth. Thus, the concept of gift giving is squarely anchored in this liturgy of the church. And at the same time, we are made aware of the primal mode of all giving at Christmas, that God on this holy night desired to make himself into a gift to mankind, that he turned himself over to us, the one genuine Christmas gift to mankind, to history, to each one of us, is none other than Jesus Christ himself. So the best gift is the giving of ourself to one another. And by giving other gifts, we kind of are doing that. But I think this Christmas is a great time to ask, how are we giving the gift of ourselves to another? And children are not too young to learn this either. You can help your child learn how to give of him or herself and help them understand the greatest gift that is ever given to us is Christ Jesus. Loving him, knowing him, following him is the way we give our gift back to him.